Okay, so for our project, we decided to make everyone's favorite, well, if you're a Nintendo fan, everyone's favorite dinosaur, Yoshi. We actually went to the Creative Toy Design Workshop, and we were originally planning to make a dragon that shot a ball of fire out of its mouth. And then we decided, as we kind of thought more about our project, that this would be a little more fun and more recognizable. So some of the challenges with making this Yoshi were just the basic architecture of him, because there's so many rounded features, and we really wanted to get it to look like the Yoshi that everyone knows. So first of all, we'll start with the features of the head. The head was made almost entirely out of revolves. If you kind of look, there's the nose and the cheek and everything like that. And then we did do a surface projection for the eye, if you can kind of zoom in there. And so then another issue was making the eyelid, so we actually used revolves and rounds to accomplish that as well. The jaw for the head was connected with a joint. We purchased some bolts to stick in there. So, yeah, there's the jaw. And then Jono's going to talk a little bit about the body.
Better on the mouse.
All right, super.
So, if you look at the body, one big challenge was creating the shape, like Harris said. It's a really organic shape with lots of rounds, and if you don't get the right shape, you're not going to recognize the Yoshi character in there. And so in order to create the body with like the right rounds along the edges along here, we used a combination of like variable section sweeps and swept blends, and but used the sketches so that it could be adjusted easily for like his fatness or his height or the angle of the neck and stuff, so that we could fine-tune the body to look the right way. We also used pegs on the inside and like orthodontic rubber bands to hold in our like gearing and everything. And when we attached like the arms and the leg, we had to make sure we had drainage holes for the SLA to drain out when it was being made.
Because I was just going to say, we wanted it to be structurally sound and have all the legs and the arms already attached when we made the SLA part, so that required us to include those holes for drainage.
And then also another difficulty was like getting the legs to mesh properly with the body. And so what we ended up doing for that, instead of using like a shell, we just created another set of swept blends along the inside of the body that we could adjust to create different thicknesses and everything, so that we could get the right wall thickness and eliminate any like overlap from the legs or arms inside of the body.
And we decided to keep the tail of this solid because actually we looked at the center of mass when we were creating this design, so that our Yoshi would be able to stand on the two legs with all the weight from the head.
Talk about the mechanism?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so our mechanism behind the body. So our mechanism, it's a little more complicated than this, but quite frankly, we didn't know how to make, we have a ball inside of it, like a
bulb. It's
yeah,
actually
a
the
bulb.
thing you would use to like clean your ears or that sort of thing, but it's new.
Right. So,
it's like a mini turkey baster.
So, but the mechanism, you push down on the shell and then it rotates on this inner rotator gear. And then we used wire, which again can't really be modeled well in Pro E, to move the head back and then move the jaw down.
Well, also one thing was when we created the part in here, we we weren't, weren't sure exactly how the ratios would work out for the wiring to the head and the jaw, and we wanted them to move, a certain way with the range of motion we got from the gear. So we put in holes on there so that we could adjust how far it wrapped around and whether or not it went around the outer edge or not, so that we could adjust that.
So where our actual model, the thing is compressed and that pushes air through the tongue. If you can look at our physical model, it's a roll-up tongue. Our physical model, we just used a block and a motor to kind of simulate that tongue coming out. So we'll show you the real Yoshi in action. All you do is push down on here, and the head comes up and the tongue comes out, because everyone knows that's what Yoshi does. He sticks his tongue out. It's his main motion.
So we had a few difficulties just because we couldn't model the bulb or anything, but we eventually got it all together and used wire and stuff like we said, and it worked. So
ended up replacing a spring underneath the shell with the bulb. Actually worked out really well. So.